Hello, everyone, and welcome back. I'm Kay, and today we're talking about how your new life will cost you your old one. It is December of 2025, and if you have seen anything on the internet right now, everyone is talking about the typical things that we're talking about in December: new year, new me, how to get ahead for the new year, how to become the person of your dreams. And I'm totally on board with that. I love the idea of reinventing yourself, of becoming exactly who it is you want to be. And today we're going to talk on a topic that is very important when it comes to actually becoming the person that it is you want to be, or stepping into a new life, a new timeline, shifting identities, things like that. We are often focused on where it is that we want to go and what we want to become, but we're not always thinking about the things we have to let go of. Sometimes we think that those things can coexist, but oftentimes you have to let go of the past in order to really fully step into your future, your purpose, and to hold your position as the dream idea of yourself. If you are someone who is taking steps to become your highest self, your ideal person, just the next version of you, but you continuously carry the habits of the person that you've always been that has not allowed you to be that new version, you will continue in the same spiral. You'll get halfway there and then turn back. You'll get kind of on the way and then you'll turn back, right? This is something that I had to really take into account when it came to my 100-pound weight loss, where I would be taking half of the steps that it took to become that new person, but I also was carrying a lot of the bad habits and old identity of someone who had low self esteem, someone who wasn't working out. You have to make sure that you're fully understanding what it is that you are ready to sacrifice and willing to sacrifice, and what you are okay with giving up to become exactly who it is you want to be. And you also have to recognize that if you're not okay with giving up some things, that's totally fine, but you just have to be okay with knowing you might not become everything you want to be, or you might not get exactly where it is you want to go. And that's totally fine too, but you just have to say, and you have to acknowledge and take it responsibility and accountability and say, I'm not willing to stop doing these things, and so because of that I will not get this end result. And it's okay if you do choose that, but you have to be honest with yourself, and you have to stop thinking like there's some external force that is going to come in and make something different for you if you are not willing to take the steps along the way. Okay. So, with that being said, thinking of the example of someone who is becoming a gym girly, right? That's everybody's goal in the new year. We're all becoming gym girlies. We're all getting snatched. We're all getting that fat ass, like whatever the goal may be, right? There's so many things that you could go with. But let's just say you want to become a gym girly, right? You're like, I have a specific body type or a specific way I want to feel or a specific end goal in mind. And you decide, I'm going to be a gym girly. So you start going to the gym, you're getting your steps, you're drinking your water, except you have not changed your diet at all, right? You still say yes to every single time people ask you out to eat. You have no discipline when it comes to drive-throughs and fast food. You're still drinking a lot on the weekends, right? You will still see some results, but you will not see the results that you would see if you did um, do more moderate eating out, or completely cut it out, or if you meal prepped, right? So you're saying, I'm okay with meeting half of my goal, or I'm okay only getting there halfway. I'm not willing to give up this other thing being the fast food, the drinking, the going out to eat with your friends. You're not willing to give that up, and that's okay. But you have to recognize that means you will not get this goal on the other side. You will only half reach it. The person who is still going out and drinking and eating out all the time, 4 out of the 7 days, and drinking 3 of the 7 days, and really overdoing it, that person is the old person. That's the old you. That's the old program. And you're saying, I'm not willing to give up my old life to live my new life. And it's not to say your new life, you can't drink, go out and eat out. It's not saying those things, but you're not willing to meet halfway. You're not willing to give up the old program, the old version of you to make it to this new one, right? You have to give up that old person, that old identity in order to make it to this new life. It just is what it is, right? You can't have your cake and eat it too, so to speak. You can have a cake and eat a slice, but you can't have the cake and eat the entire thing and still expect the same results. And a lot of times this comes in waves. Like, it is really hard. It is really hard to go from completely one thing to completely the other. A lot of times it comes in waves. It's like, okay, I'm going to start drinking my water and getting my steps in. Okay, I actually do think I want to get in the gym. All right, cool. Like that feels good. Now I think I'm going to cut out drinking so much. Okay, cool. Yeah, like I'm seeing the results. I'm really liking this. The final step for me now is to say, hey, I'm actually good on the eating out. I think I'm just going to do that once a week, maybe by girls' night, like that sort of thing. But I know that I really want to reach this goal. I really want to become this new version of me. I really see it. It's so close, and there's nothing holding me back except for this old version, except for this old identity that I've held and I've carried and has kept me safe and happy for so long. But I know I must part with her in order to be this new version, right? And it's not that. I think the really important part is realizing there's nothing wrong with your old life. The only thing wrong with your old life is that you don't want it anymore. That's the only thing wrong with it. Like there's no use in demonizing who it is you used to be or the version of yourself that you're wanting to leave behind, because that version has served you for so long, all 20, 30 years of your life. Like they have served you and it has been okay, and you've made it to this far, but you've also made it to the point where you're realizing I actually do want something different. I want a different life. I want a different outcome. I want different results. I want to live in a different way. And I think it's really important that you not part with that old way until you are ready. I always tell people live it up. Live it up, la vida loca, do whatever it is you need to do. It's like if you're not ready to leave that old version of yourself behind, totally get it. You will be ready at some point, and when you are ready, it is important that you do not hold on longer than you have to. If you're not ready, don't be ready, but be honest with yourself and say, actually, I'm ready to go. I'm scooping it up. I'm packing my bag and I got to get onto this next part. I got to get onto the next. I have to get onto this next part, because if you stay in that old version way longer than you're supposed to, you're kind of putting yourself in a cycle where you're going to be like, okay, I know this isn't good for me. I want to make a change, but actually I can't make the change because I'm ready, not ready yet, but this, and now I know I'm ready, but I'm still scared to make the jump. And now I'm, let it rest, baby. Let it rest. If you're not ready, you're not ready. But once you know you're ready, pack up that bag, put it in a nice bow, and we're on the other side. Okay, like you have to you have to be thankful for the life you've lived and also know that no longer is for you. The version of you that made it through undergrad may not be the same version of you that's going to make it through grad school. It may not be the same version of you that's going to get you into your career. The same version of you who was a friend to middle school women is not the same version of you that is friends to high school women, is not the same version of you that is friends to grown up you, right? Like, what kind of person is it that you want to be? How do you want to live your life? How is that version different than the version you currently are? And what gaps do you need to bridge to get to where it is you want to go? And asking yourself, what are you willing to sacrifice? Are you willing to sacrifice time on the weekends? Are you willing to sacrifice time after work? Are you willing to sacrifice eating out with your friends, drinking, partying? Are you willing to sacrifice time alone, time with your family? Like, what is it that you're willing to give up to make it to the version of you that you want to be? And also realizing it is just for a season, baby. Like, nobody is telling you you have to do these things forever. But taking it back to the fitness example for certain, there is a period of time when I believe you should, and I say I believe because I'm not the end all be all. Yes, I'm a personal trainer. Yes, I'm a nutrition coach. Yes, I've lost 100 pounds, but also there's people that did it a different way than I did. But I believe that you have to go through a period of time between the old version of you who was drinking every day and going out and eating out every day and the new version of you. There is a period of time when I think you should just cut everything out. And then on the other side, when you're a little bit more understanding of the cost of all those things, then you can add them back in. So it's not to say the new version of you can never do those things, but I do think there should be a period of time in the middle, that in between, when you're like, actually, like, I do need to pump the brakes. I do need to stop. I do need to kind of just cool it so that I can fully integrate into who it is that I'm supposed to be, I'm meant to be. And maybe I am having a drink or two on the weekends. I'm going out girls' night. But you have to understand, how can we make those two the same? right? How can we blend those into together and to create a lifestyle where you're exactly who it is that you want to be, and feeling both sides and saying, I don't think this side is for me. I do think this side is for me though. And it's not just with lifestyle choices. Sometimes, like, the old version of you has different friends than the new version of you. And letting yourself be okay with the ebbs and the flows. Maybe they have a different job. Maybe they have a different house. Maybe they have a different city that they live in. And saying, like, you can't be so beholden to the things you currently have, because it could be a detriment to the things that are actually truly meant for you, the things that are in God's plan for you, the things that are literally written into the crust of your life before you were even brought here. You can't be so attached to that old version versus the new one. It's kind of like where it's like my plan, God's plan, and it's like a single rose versus like a hundred roses, a dozen bouquets. Like, your plan, your old version, nothing wrong with one rose, nothing wrong with the old version of you. But at some point, you do know that the new version is ready. Like, you do know that that's not serving you anymore. You do know that you're growing outside of your box. You do know that the friend group isn't for you, that that job isn't for you, that that house, that partner, like, even just like who you are isn't for you. And letting yourself know you can make it out of any situation. Any situation that you're in, you can make it out of. And I think a lot of people feel like they're stuck or they're trapped. And I'm like, bitch, you ain't stuck in a goddamn thing. You are never stuck in anything. And also, it might be a very uncomfortable to get out of it. It might be uncomfortable to leave that man. It might be uncomfortable to quit your job. It might be uncomfortable to leave those friends behind. But also, it is possible. But also, who you are on the other side of those things is very different than the version of you that is stuck in those situations, right? And you have to be willing to sacrifice your comfort sometimes to make it to where it is you truly know you need to go. You have to be willing to go through a period of discomfort where you're like, I don't think this feels great, to be able to move through that and be like, this don't feel great right now. Right now, it doesn't feel great, but I know on the other side of this, I'll be able to make it happen. I know I'll be able to. I know me and God got a plan. Something gonna shake on that, because I know that old version of me, she ain't cutting it no more. I gotta become this new bitch. I gotta become this new bitch. And you, it might look completely different on the other side, especially moving into this new year. Life is so long. Like, you literally do have so much time, but also life can feel very short and very stagnant if you're not appropriately using your time, right? Like, I think I've heard, like, someone can grossly underestimate or overestimate what they can do in a year, but underestimate what they can do in 10, right? So you have a whole lifetime to continue to build the person that it is you want to be. And the person that you are right now is not who you'll be at the end of your life, but you have to take conscious steps every single day, every week, every month, every year, to evaluate, to make sure you're not just stagnant and stuck in a position you don't even want to be in. Who is it that you actually want to be? You didn't come in here on this earth just to be working that fuck ass job. I know you didn't. There's something that you want to do. There's somebody that you want to be, and you have to take the steps to actually become that person. Day in and day out, you have to reevaluate and be like, am I on the path to doing what it is I want to do, to getting where it is I want to go? And what can I leave behind right here to continue to move me forward to the new version of me, the new purpose of me? What is it? Right? I remember seeing a quote when I was a kid, and it stuck with me. And it was like, don't live the same year for 75 years, the same boring year for 75 years and call it a good life, or something similar to that. And I was like, ooh, you don't have to tell me twice. Like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to do that. I want every single year to look different. I want it to be interesting. I want it to be fun. I want to have a bunch of side quests. I want to know that I was moving my needle forward to get me to my end goal. And there have been years, some years are building years, some years are chilling years, some years are go crazy, crazy, crazy. And some years you're like, I'm reaping the benefits. But if you're not putting in the work and you're not continuously reevaluating and becoming a different version of you and leveling up, you're not going to make it to that point, right? Like, you have to really be intentional and think about it, and also think about what it is you're willing to leave behind and how uncomfortable you're willing to get to your end goal, to your end outcome, to where it is that you want to be. And I think that it's so great that we live in a society where everyone's like, live your best year and do great, and 2026 is your year. 2026 can be your year. Next year can be your year. Whenever you're watching this can be your month, your day, your year, your life. But you have to continuously evaluate and say, like, where am I falling short on making it to my new goal? Where can I make changes? Because last year didn't feel like I was moving forward. So how can you make changes? Where is it that you felt like you wanted to move the needle and you didn't? Where is it that you let fear hold you back? Where is it that you let uncomfortability hold you back? And how can you make a plan, make steps, take steps to move through those things? Right. And I saw a woman on, I want to say it was probably on TikTok, because I love me some TikTok, child. But it was probably on TikTok, and she said, look at the day before, today, and tomorrow. Look at your calendar. Look at all the things that you are doing that you actually do not want to do. And when you are making plans today for the future, say no to anything that you don't actually want to do. Right? She was like, look at yesterday. What didn't you want to do yesterday that you ended up having to do? Today, that you didn't want to do, you had to do. Tomorrow, that you didn't want to do, that you had to do. And when you're making plans today for the future, if you do not want to do those things, say no. And that is how you continuously evaluate, do I actually want to be doing this thing? Am I actually moving my shit forward? Am I actually living the life I want to live? Because if you're spending your days doing shit for other people, and you have literally no time for yourself, you can't even sit and think about what it is you want to do and where you want to be and where you want to go. No, this is your life. This is literally your life. You only get, whoa, one of them. That's crazy. You get one, right? So your new life, this new version, this whoever it is you want to be, is going to cost you the people pleasing. It's going to cost you the uncomfortability. It's going to cost you all of those things. But guess what? It will be worth it, because on the other side, it's going to be your life and you'll be free. So thank you for listening to my rant. I hope this helped. Like I said, I'm Kayla. I'm a certified personal trainer, yoga teacher, nutrition coach, all of those things. If you need some more one-on-one guidance, definitely shoot me an email or a message, drop a comment. I'm happy to help chat with you. And I will see you in the next one. Ciao.